Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayan Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiriye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashriki. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Welcome all of you in this today's Bhagavatam session this morning. And thank you so much for giving me this wonderful opportunity to speak on the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam.
So do a quick sound check, make sure everybody can hear. Can somebody let us know if you can hear properly?
Everything is good, Prabhu.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Okay, so we are reading from Canto 3rd, Chapter 7, entitled Further Inquiries by Vidura. Text 18 and text 19. अर्थभावं विनिश्चित्य
Arthabhavam vinishchitya
प्रतित्यास्यापि नात्मनः
Paritasyapi natmanaha
तं चापि युष्मच्चरणा
Tamchapi yusmacharana
सेवायाहं परनुद्यते
Sevayaham parunudati
अर्थाभावं विनिश्चित्य
Arthabhavam vinishchitya
प्रतीतास्यापि नात्मनः
Paritasyapi natmanaha
तां चापि युष्मच्चरणा
Tamchapi yusmacharana
सेवायाहं प्रणनुदे
Sevayaham paranudaye
अर्थभावं विनिश्चित्य
Paradhabhavam nishchitya
प्रतीत्यास्यापि नात्मनः
Paritasyapi natmanaha
तां चापि युष्मच्चरणा
Tamchapi yusmacharana
सेवयाहं प्रणुदते.
Sevayaham paranudaye.
Anyone would like to repeat?
Nartabhavam vinishchitya Paritasyapi natmanaha Tamchapi yusmacharana Sevayaham paranudaye. Nartabhavam vinishchitya Paritasyapi natmanaha Tamchapi yusmacharana Sevayaham paranudaye. Anartabhavam vinishchitya
अर्थभावं विनिश्चित्य
Paratitasyapi natmanaha
प्रतीत्यापि नात्मनः
Tamchapi yusmacharana
तां चापि युष्मच्चरणा
Sevayaham paranudaye.
सेवायां प्रणानुदे. Thank you so much. Synonyms: Arthabhavam,
Arthabhavam
without substance.
without substance.
Vinishchitya,
Vinishchitya
being ascertained.
being ascertained.
Pratitasya,
Paritasya
of the apparent values.
of the apparent values.
Api,
Api
also.
also.
Na,
Na
never.
never.
Atmanaha,
Atmanaha
of the self.
of the self.
Tam,
Tam
that.
that.
Cha,
Cha
also.
also.
Api,
Api
thus.
thus.
Yusmat,
Yusma
your. Charana,
charana
feet.
feet.
Sevaya,
Sevaya
by service.
by service.
Aham,
Aham
myself.
myself.
Pranude,
Paranudaye.
shall be able to give up.
Shall be able to give up.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
But my dear sir, I am obliged to you because now I can understand that this material manifestation is without substance. Although it appears real, I am confident that by serving your feet, it will be possible for me to give up the false idea. Purport. The sufferings of the conditioned soul are superficial and have no intrinsic value, like the cutting of one's head in a dream. Yet, although this statement is theoretically very true, it is very difficult for the common man or the neophyte on the transcendental path to realize practically. However, by serving the feet of great transcendentalists like Maitreya Muni and by constantly associating with them, one is unable to give up the false idea that the soul suffers from material pangs. I'm going to read text 19 also because that's also our discussion for today. Yat sevaya bhagavataha uta satyasya madhudvishah ratiraso bhavet tibraha padyor vyasanar andhanaha. Translation. By serving the feet of the spiritual master, one is unable to develop transcendental ecstasy in the service of the personality of Godhead, who is unchangeable enemy of the Madhu demon, and whose service vanquishes one's material distresses. Purport. The association of a bona fide spiritual master like the sage Maitreya can be of absolute help in achieving transcendental attachment for the direct service of the Lord. The Lord is the enemy of Madhu demon, or in other words, he is the enemy of the suffering of his poor devotee. The word Rati Rasaha is significant in this verse. Service to the Lord is rendered in different transcendental mellows, relationships, neutral, active, friendly, parental, and Neptune. A living entity in the liberated position of transcendental service to the Lord becomes attracted to one of the above mentioned mellows, and when one is engaged in transcendental loving service to the Lord, one's service attachment in the material world is automatically vanquished, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 259. Rasa varjam rasopi asya param drastva nirvartate. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् नमां विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. Hare Krishna. So again, welcome. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to speak on the words of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapuran is a literature which is given to us by sage Vedvyas Muni in the maturity of his transcendental achievement when he realized the presence of Supreme Personality of Godhead, although he was himself considered to be one of the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. So this Srimad Bhagavatam is very interesting because it gives us all the facts and also the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. And particularly this section of Bhagavatam which we are reading, it's very beautiful because Srimad Bhagavatam is not only giving us what are the ingredients of this material universe, but also explaining why these material universes came into picture. So religious scriptures, they always provide us the complete answer. why, how, and what. Although if we see scientifically, they can only tell us that, for example, the sky is blue, but the why sky is blue, we will never get to know because they don't have the idea about it. So the scriptures have the complete information, and scriptures provide complete information about any subject matter. So we are reading the process of creation. We know that Vidura, there was a discussion between Maitreya and Vidura, which is going on. And chapter 5 and chapter 6 talked about the process of creation. So this process of creation, we find it to be very technical, but if we keep reading it again and again, then the things make much more sense to us. Now, at the end of chapter 6, Maitreya could easily figure it out that Vidura is not accepting everything what Maitreya is saying. And Vidura knows that Maitreya knows that what is going on into his mind. And that's why, starting from this chapter, chapter 7, we can see Vidura in the first verse, he requested Maitreya in a very pleasing manner in order to please him. Because Maitreya Muni, he expressed his inability or limitation to explain the complete subject matter about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he said, not even me, even the Supreme Lord cannot explain his entire potencies. And Vidura very pleasingly requested Maitreya Muni about the questions or the inquiries or the doubts which Vidura had in first 7 slokas or in first 7 verses. And he raised objections or doubts on Ishwar Tattva and Jeev Tattva. Ishwar Tattva, that means the truth about the Supreme Lord. He asked that if the Lord is Chinmatra and Nirgunasya, that means that if the Lord is spiritual and without any qualities, then how come he is interacting with material nature and has gunas? And the other doubt or objection he had, he asked that you know, if Lord is avikari, that means if the Lord is unchangeable, he's changeless, then how come he's performing actions? Because if something is unchangeable, not changing, then the action is not possible in that. But we can see that Lord is creating, maintaining, and at the same time destroying. So how this is possible? This was the akshepa or the doubt on the Ishwar Tattva. And the Jiva Tattva or the living entity, he raised these doubts that how come this living entity who is Nitya Jnanavat or who is full of knowledge, bliss and eternity, then how this knowledge is, is attacked by Maya or material nature. And this Lord is residing with the Jivatma, then how come this Jivatma is suffering in this material world? So these are the some of the doubts which Vidura raised in first 7 verses of this chapter regarding Ishvara Tattva and Jiva Tattva. And then Maitreya Muni, after understanding his doubts, he explained it very nicely. He said that, and he explained from verse number 18 to verse number 11, 8, 9, 10, 11. He explained that the Supreme Lord, although he is Shaktiman, that means he is energetic and he carries the potency, the energy. But at the same time, the Supreme Lord is also only empowering his energy to perform all the functions. So this tattva or this philosophy is called Achintya Abheda Bhed Tattva, which is inconceivably separated and differentiated at the same time. It is oneness, and also differentiation is there between Lord and his energies. And several examples has been given regarding this. Example of sun glow and like rain, cloud, and darkness. These are the parts, or these are the energies, or these rain, cloud, and darkness can be formed only by the sun. But sometimes we see that it is covering the sun, but in actuality, they are the parts of the sun. So Achintya Abheda Bhed Tattva has been explained by by Maitreya Muni. And we can see that the same Achintya Veda Ved Tattva Krishna is explaining in chapter 7 when he is saying that all earth, water, fire, air, and ether, they are my separated energies. But at the same time, nothing can remain without me. Matta parataram nanya. That means there is no truth superior to me. Everything is just trunk like in a pearl likeness, all the beads in a thread. So this sometimes people ask where Krishna has explained this in Achintya Abheda Veda Tattva in chapter 7, clearly explaining that this energy is mine, but at the same time I'm different from this. So this has been explained by Maitreya Muni very perfectly. And then on the Jeev Tattva, the Akshepa was that how come this living entity who is full of knowledge, bliss, and eternity, how this jnana or the knowledge of this living entity is going to get lost with the interaction with material nature. And then Maitreya Muni explained that in fact this is just a misidentification of Jiva Tattva or misidentification of a living entity. This jnana or this knowledge, nobody is stealing. Maya is not stealing that. She is only covering. And why she is covering? She is covering the knowledge because this kind of living entity, who is called eternally conditioned living entity, this kind of living entity is always on the backside of the Lord. It is missing that Bhagavad Tattva Jnana or the knowledge about the Supreme, and that's why the Maya is covering with the avidya, with a layer of tamoguna. It's covering. So nobody is stealing. And the example has been given by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur that, when it's just like there is a necklace in someone's neck, and the person is searching for that necklace. So necklace is right there. And also one more example can be given. If there is darkness in the room and the the power of seeing is nobody's, stealing. Only there is darkness. That's why my eyes are not able to see that the objects in the room. So what is the best way to see? Just go into the light. Now, just go into the light. It's very easy to say, but how? Right? The question is how we just go into the light. We can just go walk away. Like if there is darkness in this room, I can go out, right? And there will be sunlight, and I will be able to see everything nicely. Hmm? So, but in spiritual life, when we say just go into the light, it does not mean just you just stand up and just go. So many things are there in between, I think, and we are going to discuss those things. And already, Vidura, when Maitreya Muni cleared his doubts, then Maitreya Muni in text 12, yes, text number 14, Maitreya Muni is saying, simply by chanting and hearing of the transcendental name, form, etc., of the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna one can achieve the cessation of unlimited miserable conditions. So that means Maitreya Muni is glorifying the process of devotional service here, which starts from hearing and chanting. And he glorifies the bhakti, and he said that the only thing one can just go from darkness to light is the process of bhakti. And process of bhakti, and in this particular verses 18 and 19, Vidura is saying, I'm obliged to you because now I can understand that this material world is without substance. Without substance means there is just a misidentification. It's just like somebody else is stealing and I'm taking blame on myself, and I'm also going to the jail because I'm thinking that I stole it. So similarly, this world is without substance. Just like when in the dream, when we see there is a man, in the dream, if I see that I don't have my head. And I'm getting worried that I lost my head. Now I'm going to die. I'm going to die. But this is not the fact because I'm still lying in my bed. I am alive, right? So similarly, this jiva, the consciousness of the soul, when entered into the subtle and gross senses, then it start feeling that this pain belongs to me. This pain, this problem belongs to me. And there are several layers of self-identification. And it's given in one of the Upanishads. I'm not going to go into that, but here the importance of spiritual master and serving his feet has been given. Vidura, he said that although I got the point, but the realization is still not there. Realization is still not there. And how I'm going to get this realization? I'm confident that by serving your feet, it will be possible for me to give up the false idea. Many things in scriptures does not make sense to us because we cannot experience those things and we try to understand those things with the logic. Logic. But the thing is, nothing can make sense without the mercy of a pure Vaishnava. Unless and until we get kripa or mercy of a pure Vaishnava, we won't be able to understand the correct meaning of Shastras. And that's what the point which Vidura is explaining here, that maybe by serving your lotus feet, I will be able to get the realization also. The word guru means gu shabd, the word gu means darkness. And darkness of what? Darkness of the consciousness. Darkness of the consciousness. And word ru means dispeller. That means guru means one who can dispel the darkness of the consciousness. So therefore, guru is very, very important. Now let's see how this whole process actually starts. And what is the meaning or what is the definition which is given to us by our acharyas or our leaders? Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu gives the definition of pure devotional service, right? And what is that definition? Anya abhilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavritam anukulena krishnanu shilanam bhakti uttama. Why I went so slow with this definition? Because it's very important to understand the lakshana or the definition of this pure devotional service. The problem lies in that we read it and we just forget it. But what Rupa Goswami is trying to say, so this definition has two parts. One is primary characteristic and the other is secondary characteristic, which is called Swarupa Lakshana and Tathastha Lakshana. The Swarupa Lakshana is primary characteristics of any subject. That means without that characteristics present in the subject, that subject is not that definition. That's not the, that's unqualified. So that means primary characteristics or Swarup Lakshana of bhakti, of devotional service. What is that? So primary characteristic is the second line, Anukulena Krishnanu Shilanam. That's the primary characteristics. That means continuously, when we try to please Krishna in a favorable mood, that's the primary characteristics of this bhakti or devotional service. Continuously with my mind, body, and words, when I'm doing any activity in order to please the Supreme Lord or in connection with the Lord in a favorable mood or in positive mood, right? So that's and now the word Sheelanam is here. The word Sheelanam has two parts. One is Cheshta Rupa, that means by endeavors, and the other part is Bhava Rupa, that means by by emotional love. Two parts. So that means this Cheshta Rupa, or when I'm endeavoring through my activities with my mind, body, and words to perform some activity in connection with the Supreme Lord in a positive mood, that is Cheshta Rupa, or the what you call underwear, right? I'm putting my underwear. I don't have any love here, right? And the second part is spontaneous love, which is spontaneous Sheelanam. There is another part which is Bhava Rupa, or spontaneous out of my own sentiments. That is Bhava Bhakti, which we are not going to talk about because we are not yet there. So the definition, primary characteristic is continuously I am trying to please the Supreme Lord in a favorable mood, right? So that's the definition of devotional service. Now, when it is going to become pure devotional service, Tathastha Lakshana, or the secondary characteristics is Gyan Karmadi Anavratam, right? Without any mixture of any mental speculation or philosophical speculation or fruitive activities. When I am performing this bhakti, that's called, that's the definition of pure devotional service. Uninterrupted, unmotivated devotional service in the favorable mood, and it should be continuous without fruitive activities or without philosophical speculation. That means 24/7 doing, hearing, chanting, kirtan, and all this. Now, this prayer devotional service is divided into three parts. Into three parts by Rupa Goswami, and we can see Nectar of Devotion also. Srila Prabhupada has given to us the English translation, of Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. So these three parts is Sadhana Bhakti, Bhava Bhakti, and Prema Bhakti. Sadhana Bhakti is pure devotional service in practice. I repeat, pure devotional service in practice. We just cut the pure part and we just said devotional service in practice. Pure devotional service in practice is sadhana bhakti. And pure devotional service in ecstasy is bhava bhakti. And pure devotional service in love of Godhead is prema bhakti. Right? Now, these are the three categories of pure devotional service. And the entry point to the pure devotional service is Drid Shraddha. Drid Shraddha means full conviction in the conclusions of Shastras or in the conclusion of scriptures. That's the entry point in the pure devotional service, pure devotional Vedi Sadhana Bhakti. Right? So, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he analyzed um, verses 16 to 21 in Canto 1, Chapter 2, and he has given us 14 stages of devotional service. Shri Shri Radha Shri Bihari, 14 stages of devotional service. We can see 16 to 21 verses. He analyzed and he gave us 14 stages of devotional service. And Rupa Goswami, in his Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, he clubbed 2-3 points and gave us 9 stages of devotional service. So this 14 stages, the first stage is Satam Kripa. The first stage is Satam Kripa. That means the mercy of a devotee, mercy of a pure devotee of the Lord. When the mercy comes, then we get the opportunity. Then we get the opportunity to start something. Even Shraddha will not come without the mercy of the pure devotee, right? So this is the first point. Even Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in his Madhurya Kadambani, he explained the reason of somebody having bhakti or devotion. Hmm? And he explained so many reasons, and then he's cutting all the reasons that this is Krishna's mercy. Then, if this is Krishna's mercy, then that means Krishna is partial, that he is giving mercy to you and he is not giving mercy to him, right? Of bhakti. So, what is going on? From where this bhakti or devotion is coming? So he's saying that it's not Krishna's mercy and it's not Sukriti or the Prarabdha or some pious activities. If bhakti is coming because of the pious activity, previous pious activity, so that means bhakti is subordinate to karma, right? I'm going to do nice karma and I'm going to earn bhakti. So bhakti is not subordinate to karma, he said, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And then Krishna mercy and mercy of Krishna. So where the bhakti is coming from? So the first point is Satam Kripa. Bhakti is coming by the mercy of the pure devotee of the Lord, and that too specifically who is at the Madhyama level, the devotee who is in the middle level, because he has the quality to differentiate to whom to give mercy and to whom not to give mercy, right? Right? Like we can see that Vidura, he is going to go and explain all this knowledge to who? Dhritarashtra, right? Dhritarashtra, and he is going to explain to him everything, but he never given his mercy to Duryodhana. So we cannot ask why he did not do this and he did this. Because the Madhyama Adhikari or the devotee of the Lord has the full power to discriminate between one from another and give the mercy. So this mercy, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has concluded that bhakti is coming only through the mercy of the pure devotee of the Lord. So this is the first point, Satam Kripa. So when we get the mercy of a pure devotee, what is the next stage? Mahat Seva. Mahat Seva, that means serving the Vaishnavas, serving devotees, right? When we get the mercy of the devotee, we should try to serve the Vaishnavas, right? And this process cleanses the heart. And the third stage is Shraddha or faith. Third thing is Shraddha or faith. So even entering for the entry into the Vedi sadhana bhakti or the devotional practice, what is the definition of Vedi sadhana bhakti? Vedi sadhana bhakti is when we perform devotional service according to the on the power of shastras under the guidance of a spiritual master. That's Vedi sadhana bhakti, on the power of shastras. Because I don't have my own power, but on the power of shastras, I am performing bhakti under the guidance of the spiritual master. So this Shraddha start developing in me. And the next stage, he explained Guru Padashraya. Guru Padashraya, that means just seeking the shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. And this Guru Padashraya, Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, he has given us 64 items, right? 64 limbs of devotional service. And he is raising these 5 main points in the beginning. And he's saying, and these all 5 points are focusing on the service of spiritual master, taking shelter of the Guru, serving the feet of the Guru, taking initiation from the Guru, and then accepting Guru's order, and according to Guru or the spiritual master, just follow the footsteps of acharyas or other senior Vaishnavas. These 5, Rupa Goswami has been given in the very start, that this is the basis. Serving your Guru Maharaj or serving spiritual master is the basis. And we have seen that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, not once, not twice, many times he has proved that only the entry point when you can enter is Satam Kripa, or the mercy of the pure devotee of the Lord. And then the stages are there. Bhajneshu Spraha, that eagerness to worship start. The worship, the Lord comes. And there are stages, I mean, you can read, I will not go into that. But the thing is that Vedi sadhana bhakti, where, the serving the, in the entire Vedi sadhana bhakti or pure devotional service in practice, we need the instructions of our spiritual master, right? Now, this sadhana bhakti is also divided into two parts. I know so many informations, but it is divided into two parts. One is Vedi bhakti. That means when I am on the power of scriptures, I am following the rules and regulation under the guidance of my spiritual master, but I don't have that love right now, right? So when I reach up to the stage of ruchi, so the stages are Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Anartha Nivritti, and after Anartha Nivritti, it is Nishtha. Nishtha, and then Nishtha. At the stage of Nishtha, yeah, Nishtha, and then after Nishtha is Ruchi. So at the stage of Ruchi, when anyone can reach up to that stage, Ruchi means taste, right? Taste. Then when I start getting the taste in devotional service, then that bhakti becomes Raganuga Bhakti, right? Raganuga Bhakti. But still in Raganuga Bhakti, many times the misconception is there that we don't have to follow the rules and regulations of scripture. No. Because this is still a part of sadhana bhakti. In Raganuga Bhakti, the in consciousness, I got that taste. So the ruchi and asakti is there. Asakti means attachment, ruchi means taste. So I have these two things, right? And I have these two things, and also the previous stages I have crossed. So in Raganuga Bhakti, that taste is there, but I am following the scriptures. This Raganuga Bhakti does not mean that I am leaving everything and I am doing whimsically everything. That's not what Rupa Goswami has given it to us. Many times people think that Vedi Sadhana Bhakti is when I have to follow the scriptures and Raganuga, I'm leaving the scriptures, now I have become a gopi. No, long way to go still, because there are so many other steps also. So Vidura, he's saying that by serving your lotus feet, all the miseries, all the miseries whose service vanquishes one's material miseries. Now, we have we have discussed about pure devotional service, the definition, primary and secondary characteristics of pure devotional service, and we have discussed the few portion of the stages which is given to us by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And now, in this particularly, what is material distresses, which Vidura is talking about? Rupa Goswami and Srila Prabhupada in Nectar of Devotion has given that there are 6 effects which happen when we perform devotional service. Right? There are 6 effects happen. And what are those 6 effects? The first effect is kleshagni. That means devotional service, pure devotional service in practice. That is sadhana bhakti. When anyone reach up to the stage of nishtha. Nishtha means full conviction. Nishtha. When anyone reach up to that stage, then at that point, one effect happen. 2 effects happen. Klesha Agni and Shubhada. Klesha Agni means burning of all the material distresses happens. Now, what are these material distresses? Again, Rupa Goswami explained. Material distresses are of 3 types. And first type is papam. Papam means all my sinful reactions, right? Bijam, Bija means I have the desire to enjoy materially. And third is avidya. Avidya is ignorance. I am an ignorant and I have become forgetful that I am a living entity who is full of knowledge, bliss, and eternity. So in Vedi sadhana bhakti, in Vedi sadhana or devotional service, pure devotional service in practice, these two effects come. Kleshagni and Shubhada. Kleshagni means all the material distresses just vanquish. And what are these material distresses? Papam, bijam, and ignorance. Right? Sorry, papam, ignorance, and avidya. Right? Papam means sinful reactions, my material desires, and my ignorance. This all get burned up. And Krishna in Uddhav Gita, when he's explaining to Uddhava, he explained this to Uddhava in that section. That when anyone start doing my bhakti with faith, then it is just like a blazing fire. And blazing fire, all the snakes in the forest just get burned up. So the snakes of my material distresses, they get burned up. That's the first effect. The second effect is Shubhda. That means everything, it becomes auspicious. Everything becomes auspicious. Everybody start to like me. Start to like everybody. Auspiciousness is everywhere, right? That's called Shubhda. So these two effects come from the sadhana bhakti. But there are in total 6 effects which happen when we perform bhakti. When we go further and reach up to the bhava stage, then 2 more effects happen, right? Kleshagni and Shubhda. That means the Kleshagni means the complete immediate relief from the material distress. And Shubhda is beginning of all auspiciousness. And what 2 other things happen? Moksha, Laguta, Krit. This is that I don't even desire for liberation. A devotee don't even desire for liberation, and this happens when a devotee reach up to the stage of ecstasy or bhava bhakti. He don't even require liberation. All these liberation to merge in the Lord, to become same as the Lord, all these things go away. And Sudurlabha. Sudurlabha means this kind of devotional service is very difficult to attain. You know, when we pray Krishna to give me car, house, kids, any kind of material happiness, he will give it to you. But he will not give it to us. He will not give it to us bhakti very easily. And that's why it's called Sudurlabha. It's very, very difficult to attain. But anyone who reach up to the stage of prema bhakti, then the entire 6 effects happen. And the last 2 effects are Sandar Ananda Visheshatma. That means that automatically we go into transcendental bliss, right? Transcendental bliss. We are happy transcendently when we reach up to the stage of pure devotional service in love of God. And the last and the very most important effect which happens is Sri Krishna Akarshan. It even attracts Sri Krishna. We always say that Krishna is Madan Mohan and Srimati Radharani is Madan Mohan Mohini. That means even Krishna gets attracted by the worship of the pure devotees. So these 6 effects happen when we follow the path of pure devotional service, and what Vidura is explaining and talking in this particular, in these 2 verses. First, by serving your lotus feet, that is one of the first stages of a pure devotee. One of the first stages. When we serve the lotus feet of our spiritual master, we start understanding what is given in the scriptures. Otherwise, we can take some other meaning of it, right? We can take, and that's what Vidura is saying. By your mercy, by your mercy, I'm confident that by serving your feet, it will be possible for me to give up this false idea. For example, in scriptures, there is a verse. I was reading this verse. I want to share this. There is a verse, and this verse has two meanings in this. The verse says, Keshavam patitam drishtva pandava harsha nirbhara rudanti kaurava sarve ha ha Keshava. So if we see the meaning, the first meaning is of this word is Keshavam patitam. Keshava, Keshava is Krishna. So this is the context is that the Mahabharat, the war is happening in Kurukshetra, and Keshavam patitam. Krishna, he fall down, right? He fell from his chariot. Hmm? Drishtva Pandava Harsha Nirbhara. That means the Pandavas, five sons of Pandu, they became so happy. Harsh Nirbhara. They became so happy. Rudanti Kaurava. And then Kauravas, the opposite party, they started crying. Sarve ha ha Keshava. That what happened to Keshava? What happened to Keshava? Who heard this pastime? Anyone heard this pastime before? That Keshava, Krishna fall from the chariot and Pandavas became excited and happy, and the Kauravas, they were crying and saying, ha ha Keshava. Anyone heard about this pastime before? No, because this pastime never happened. That's why. But this is one of the verse which this is one of the verse. So what is the meaning of this verse? When this pastime never happened, so why this verse is there? Because Keshavam Patitam means K means the surface of the water. Shava means dead body. That means on the surface of the water dead bodies are dead body is lying. And by seeing that, Pandava Harsha Nirbhara. Pandava Harsha Nirbhara. Pandava is a school of fish, one kind of fish. So when a dead body fall into the surface of the water, school of fish, they become very happy because they are going to eat it now, right? And Rudanti Kaurava. Kaurava is compared with crows. Crows. They became very, very, very morose that we cannot eat that, the dead body which is now in the water, right? Ha ha Keshava. They are saying, oh, this dead body has gone, dead body has gone. So this kind of verses or this kind of meaning is there where one verse can talk about two things. And when we try to read the scripture according to our own mind, according to our own intelligence, which is not yet sharpened enough by the sword of knowledge, we get mistaken, right? And that's why many people, they just take the wrong conclusion of the right verses from the scriptures, right? And that's why we need a spiritual master or a senior Vaishnava to explain us what is the right meaning of this verse, so that we don't get misguided and confused in our journey of this devotional service, right? And that's why it has been said by Sanatana Goswami and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also that we should not even try to hear the Mayavad Bhasya or the commentary which has been given to us by Shankaracharya, Mayavad or impersonalism, because they can because right now my faith maybe I know the shastras, but my faith may be very meek and I can easily be defeated or get influenced by these strong evidences or what you say, the argument of impersonalist or Mayavadi. So that's why we should always remain ourselves under the lotus feet of the senior Vaishnavas and our spiritual master and try to understand from him. And if there is any doubt while our swadhyaya, right, while we read, if there is any doubt, we should go to him and we should try to ask submissively, just like Vidura asked his questions from Nitya Muni. This Maitreya and Vidur Samvad is giving us a very nice mood between hearer and speaker. If we don't understand anything, we should try to hear it and to try to question it in a submissive manner rather than challenging the person, right? Many times, our understanding is different from what the other person is saying. Hmm? Maybe the other person is saying the correct thing, and what I have understood is correct too. But there is somewhere there is a mismatch. So by submitting nicely or submissively, we should try to ask rather than challenging the person or controlling the entire situation, right? Because I know better. I am reading more. I am this. I am that, right? And that's why even these things are happening because of the presence of offenses in me, right? I have started thinking that I am the great rather than thinking that I am insignificant. So that's the way and that's the idea to ask from the spiritual master and the senior Vaishnavas whenever there is confusion. That's what Vidura, that's what Vidura is explaining here very nicely. And that's what the relationship between Maitreya and Vidura is explaining very, very nicely. And one more point is that when we hear Shravan, when we do hearing, then hearing also have several parts. Right now I heard today's class, I'm going to take prashad, I'm going to go to my home, I'm going to engage in all those things which I'm doing in my routine, forgetting everything what I have read or heard. So Shravanam has parts to it. Shravanam, the word Shravanam or hearing is not complete without these parts. And these parts are Shravanam, hearing, which we are doing, first stage. Next is Mananam. Mananam, to concentrate or focus our mind or contemplate what I have read, what I have heard. Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasan. Nididhyasan is recitation, right? What I have heard, I contemplated, I have put my focus onto that, what I have heard this morning, Mananam, and then Nididhyasan is recitation, right? I'm going to recite it to my friend or to my son, to my daughter, to my spouse. I have heard this morning, right? And I got to know this. Nididhyasana. And then Patna. Again read what we have heard today, these verses 18, 19. Patna. And then last is Kirtana. This stage is going to come when I will start presenting on what I have heard. When these 5 stages I will try to follow and accept as a part of Shravana. So that's a complete process of or the package of Shravana or hearing. So with that, I'm going to stop here. What we have discussed that without the mercy of a pure devotee of the Lord, who is the representative of the Lord, nothing is going to happen in devotional life. That's the start of our devotional life. We have we have heard about the definition of pure devotional service, and this pure devotional service, even at the stage of sadhana, we are doing the pure devotional service, and the entry point is Drid Shraddha, and Drid Shraddha is full conviction in the conclusions of scriptures. And this Bhakti, sadhana bhakti start with Satam Kripa as given to us by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Satam Kripa means mercy of the pure devotee of the Lord. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in Madhurya Kadambini putting so many arguments from where this bhakti is coming from. And he is refuting everything and settling on this last point that this bhakti is coming from the Madhyama devotee who has the power to give the bhakti or devotional mercy to anybody. And then we have discussed the stages of Vedi Sadhana Bhakti, and from stages of Vedi Sadhana Bhakti, what are the effects of 6 effects in the pure devotional service, and that too in Sadhana Bhakti, Bhava Bhakti, and Prema Bhakti. Sadhana Bhakti or devotional service, pure devotional service in practice, generates two effects, which is Kleshagani and Shubhada at the stage of Nishtha when we have full conviction, and the Bhava Bhakti is going to generate four effects, which is Kleshagani, Shubhada, Sudurlabha, and Moksha Lakuta Krit. And the last Prema Bhakti will generate all the six effects, which include Sri Krishna, Akarshani, and Visheshananda. Visheshananda, Sundaranda, sorry, I forgot the name. Sundaranda what's the name? Yeah, that means that transcendental completely, yeah, name is Sandrananda Visheshatma. That means in pure transcendental bliss. And then at the last, we discussed that there are several verses or in the scriptures which is not possible to understand because of the various meanings. Only the mercy of the pure devotee can help us to understand. And Krishna in Bhagavad Gita 4:34 also said, Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upatikshayanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. That go and understand the truth from those who have realized the truth themselves. And this kind of spiritual master is that who is coming into the parampara in the disciplic succession, and he himself has the faith in the Supreme Lord. So that's what we have discussed today. And lastly, we discussed the parts of Shravanam, that hearing cannot be complete without this 5-point package. All right. So I'm going to stop here. If anyone has any questions or corrections, additions, or whatnot, please go ahead. Thank you so much. And if I had said something which is against the scriptures and not pleasing for the acharyas, please pray for me and please forgive me and bless me so that I can go ahead in my practice of devotional service. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anybody has any question here?
Can you repeat the 5 stages of
Shravanam. First is Shravanam, hearing, which we are doing right now. And then second is Mananam. Mananam means you have to contemplate what you heard in the morning. Morning, right now, right? Mananam. Nididhyasan, recitation. What you heard, you just contemplate and you talk to your friend about it. Next is Patnam, read again, Patnam. Do your own reading, Patnam. And then Kirtanam. What you have read, you have to present it sometime. I mean, when you reach up to that stage, that's the 5. Anybody has any question online? Oh, okay. Yes.
Question real quick.
Yeah.
First, I want to thank you. A lot of detailed information you gave, well studied and prepared. I wanted to emphasize the importance of being able to share what you've learned. One, for our own, we process it more when we're able to talk about it with others, but also for our spiritual growth. We talk about so many things. You call somebody up, oh, what did you hear? What did you hear? Did you hear this person said, this person did this? What do you think about this? But when you're able to change the conversation, say, today I was learning about this in Bhagavatam class, it totally raises it to a transcendental level. And we should all have at least one person that we can call, and one friend that we can talk to about Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and talk about the sweetness of the scriptures. And it'll be a relationship that really enlivens us and lifts us up.
Yeah. It's very nice, yeah.
I wanted to ask you, so Srila Prabhupada writes this in the purport. He says, yet although this is in 18, text 18, he says, yet although this statement is theoretically very true, it is very difficult for the common man or the neophyte on the transcendental path to realize practically. And this is in relationship to this idea that this world is not real.
Yeah.
And we've had this experience of, we listen to the classes, we read Srila Prabhupada's books, and on this platform that this, Maya exists in this world, I'm not this body. So theoretically, we feel we can talk to other people about it. But when the situations arise in our lives, being able to actually practically apply it is where the challenge comes. And Srila Prabhupada is mentioning this is like the challenge for the devotees. Theoretically, we are, or neophyte devotees. Yeah, which a lot of us, myself, I'll speak for, are. So it's like when you get into that situation when Krishna says, okay, you think you understand, now show me that you understand. We lose a loved one, we get hurt in some way, things don't go the way we want to, or bodily we get sick or something like that, and we wonder why. How can you give us some understanding of how we can adjust to this? How do we grow out of this from theoretical understanding to practical?
So thank you, Prabhu, for your nice question and explanation. So Prabhupada is saying neophyte. So neophyte, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Rupa Goswami, he is saying that this is one of the lakshana of a Kanishta Adhikari, or a person who is at Kanishta level, that his faith in scripture is weak, Komal Shraddha, right, is weak. So when somebody has less faith, not less faith, weak faith in the scriptures, then whenever things arise, that, and specifically this line which Srila Prabhupada has written, this is theoretically very true, is in context with the jiva. That this jiva, this jiva, our living entity, he's thinking, oh, this pain is mine, right? Whenever there is a tooth extraction, I think, okay, I'm a living entity, this pain is mine, but this pain is going to in the mind, right? In my mind. So this pain is not mine. I'm different from this pain. But as you said, this is all theoretical when we read and we understand. And Prabhupada is mentioning neophyte. Why? Because neophyte is the one, the Shraddha has three parts: Uttam, Madhyam, and Nikrishna, or the Komal Shraddha. This Komal Shraddha, when we have in scriptures, then that means when we don't have full conviction in what the Shastras are saying, then the realization is not going to come, right? When we have full faith, again, by the mercy of the spiritual master or by mercy of Vaishnavas, and I am not committing any offenses, my anartha nivritti has been done, then this realization actually come, right? Because if there is a hot drink, they always say, okay, you need to have a suitable container for this, right? Otherwise the material is going to burn of cup, right? So we have to have a perfect container to have that hot drink in that cup, right? So if my material is not ready, so when the problems, these distresses are going to cup like a hot drink, everything is going to burn up, right? Because I have no drishta or faith, neophyte, Prabhupada is saying, on this transcendental path. Only realization, only when realization hits in, then only I'm going to get above over these miseries. And that's what I said. At Vedi Sadhana Bhakti, when I am at the level of Nishtha, then Klesha Agni happen. All the material distresses is going to go away. That does not mean that, what you say, I am a poor person. I suddenly am going to become rich. Although, if Krishna wants me to become rich, I will become rich. But if Krishna wants me to be poor, if this poorness, being poor, be conducive for my bhakti, then Krishna will let me remain poor. But that consciousness, that chitta, that mind, okay, I'm poor, I'm suffering, it's going to go away, right? And there are layers on our consciousness. The first layer is Annamaya. Annamaya, that means whatever I'm eating, I'm thinking I'm that, right? I'm eating rice, let till I think I'm becoming what I am. So this is called Annamaya. There is one more subtle layer, which is Pranamaya. Pranamaya is life airs are going into my body. I think I am that life air. But no, just take it out. I'm not that life air. And then Annamaya, Pranamaya, and then Jnanamaya. Jnanamaya and Jnanamaya is intelligence. I think, oh, I am my intelligence. No, I'm not that. I'm just giving a very brief. Vijnanamaya. I'm whatever I'm thinking, my intelligence is there. And then Manomaya. I'm my mind. So the Upanishad is saying, I'm not all these 5 layers. When we peel off, it's just like, what is that fruit? We just peel it off, peel it off, peel it off, and then get the fruit.
Banana?
Onion.
Yeah, onion is a good example. So when we just peel it off, peel it off, peel it off, then we get inside it. So it's similarly, we have so many layers that Upanishad is saying. And Prabhupada is mentioning very clearly for the neophyte, it's very difficult to realize, very difficult. Theoretically, we all understand. If anyone asks me, I will recite like that. This. I will recite the entire Bhagavad Gita, shlokas, like a parrot. But realization is missing. And because of that missing realization, wherever I'm going, I'm finding faults. I'm saying, oh, this system is like this. He's like that, he's like that, because the problem is in me. The offenses are there. I'm not yet at the stage of nishtha. I am not fully conviction. Full conviction is not there on the shastra. That's why realization is not going to come. That's what is given to us by our acharyas. Not that I have any realization. I am also speaking theory.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm also speaking theory. But by serving the lotus feet of pure Vaishnava Srila Prabhupada, there is a hope, a lot of hope.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Let's see if anybody online. Hare Krishna devotees.
Hare Krishna, this is Subhadra. Mataji, I have a question. What is the difference between the gate entry Shraddha and the Nishtha? Which we can say it is Shraddha, it is faith, it is steadiness. So what is that two difference?
So, Mataji, Adau Shraddha, when we say, then it's in the beginning also, it is one kind of sadhu sangha from where we are getting the Shraddha. That Shraddha is not, when we enter, even entering into the Vedi sadhana bhakti, the Shraddha which is mentioning, that is Drid Shraddha, Mataji.
Yeah,
And
so
Nishtha, at the stage of Nishtha, when we reach at the stage of Nishtha, that Nishtha is when my anarthas, offenses have been just all vanquished, and now I am, everything is
steady.
just vanquished.
Steadiness, the steadiness comes there.
Yeah, then I am, but the Shraddha, Drid Shraddha, we need Drid Shraddha, that means Shastra, Vishwasa is the requirement even to enter into this path, Mataji.
This path, yeah. So Mataji, you said that the pure devotee who is in the Madhyama level, right? Madhyama Adhikari, pure devotee, they choose that, okay, I will give mercy to this one and not mercy
I'm
to
not
that
saying
one.
this, Vishwanath Chakravarti
No,
Thakur.
I understand. I'm saying you are explaining, right? So on basis of what they do that, okay, I'll give mercy to this, I'll not give mercy to that.
So the reason has not been given by him. You can, Mataji, go and read Shower 1 and 2, and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has that it's his swechha. That means it's his own desire to him to give mercy and to of bhakti, and not to give bhakti like that. That's what has been given, Mataji.
Okay, no, that's what I was thinking. Like,
Reason is not given. Why not? It's like, why not? Srila Prabhupada has made his family devotee, and then he just came and he turned the entire world into Krishna conscious. Right?
yeah, so yeah, now I
Yeah.
understand that. What I was thinking is karma coming somewhere? Is our past karma coming somewhere? No. So then
karma, otherwise then bhakti will become subordinate of karma.
No, I know you said that, but I'm thinking that if we say that Krishna is impartial, he's not he's equal to everyone. So
He's
then
not partial.
then how the devotee, his servant, he is choosing or not choosing? But yeah, I understand it's not
that's
explained.
Power, Krishna. Mataji, that power has been given by Krishna to the devotee.
No, that I understand, Mataji. I'm saying that how then this is not happening, that okay, mercy is not given to everybody. But again, Vishwanath Chakravarti is saying it is his desire whom he will give, whom he will not give. So yeah, I was just thinking that why.
So if you read Mataji, Madhurya Kadambini, Shower 1 and 2, you will get to know there are so many arguments. In brief, I have explained because, if we go through the showers of Madhurya Kadambani, it might take a lot of time. But if you read, there are so many arguments which has been given by him and then refuted by him. And then finally, the mercy can be given by the pure devotee of the Lord is given.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. I was listening to Srila Prabhupada's lecture also when he was talking about the Vaidhi Varnashrama and how, your spiritual master is going to know what is your quality,
Yes.
and accordingly he place you there, right, to do that. So maybe
Yes.
that's what I'm also I'm thinking maybe spiritual master or the pure devotee can see where this devotee stands. So, okay, Mataji, thank you very much.
Mercy comes and then according to the quality, spiritual master train us.
Right.
Yeah. Yes, Mataji.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Unless we have qualities, we won't be initiated by spiritual master too. Initiation also, unless we have some quality, at least, we are towards Krishna, we may not be initiated too.
So
Is it right?
spiritual master, the pure devotee of the Lord, cultivates those qualities, Mataji. When the mercy comes, then cultivation happens. If we can see from the life of Srila Prabhupada himself, that what quality, the hippies and everybody who were engaging themselves into so many things which were not correct. And Srila Prabhupada, because of his mercy, he developed that quality in them. So Srila Prabhupada cultivated everybody like that, we can see from himself.
One more thing I want to ask you, the other sloka you remember you were telling, where from you get that one, Mataji?
It's in the scripture. Particularly, I have heard in the class this shloka, and the reference or the context was again to bring the importance of Gurudev or spiritual master. And this kind of shloka, this is called a spoot shloka. And these kind of shlokas are found in the scriptures. That was the information which was given by the speaker. And I have searched on it, looked around it, and that's what it is given. This shloka, yes, it is given in the scripture. And this kind of shlokas are called Subhashita shlokas.
Subhashita.
Which has different meanings. One has different meanings.
You know which shloka I'm asking?
This shloka, Keshavam Patitam Drishtva Pandava Archaneta.
Yeah, that is the one.
Yes. Rudanti Kaurava Sarvaha.
That's a beautiful meaning. You know what? When we talk something also, you have to be very careful. If I'm saying something, that might have two meanings.
Yes.
So somebody might, if a person is taking wrong meaning, he might be taking wrong meaning also. So it is a very important thing we have to, when we say some word, that is the thing. And always, that reminds, my mother used to tell me another thing. If we are showing one finger to somebody, 3 fingers are showing towards me. Yes. See, I had to correct myself before saying something back to somebody. So 3 fingers are showing to me. I have to correct 3 times. Then I can show a finger to somebody.
My mother used to tell the same thing, mother.
The same thing I used to learn.
And this shloka we can find in Mahabharata.
What's it?
Mahabharata. It's in Mahabharata.
Mahabharata.
Keshavam Patitam Drishtva.
Okay, so where was it in Mahabharata and what?
It's written here that it is one of the backgrounds of the incident of Mahabharata, and this particular shloka has been used.
Okay, tell me the beginning of the shloka.
I will send you the shloka. I will send you the
okay, thank you. That was very interesting, that one. Thank you very much. It's a nice class.
Thank you, Mataji.
Keep it up all the time.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so if there are any more questions, if not, we will conclude here. Thank you all for joining today. Hare Krishna. And again, if anybody wants to join us today for the cleanup day here at Krishna's temple, I will begin about 10 o'clock. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.